Hi everybody, welcome back to Mind, Body and Bits. I'm Georgie, your host, and today, my goodness, I'm not sure if this is a very good idea.
We're giving it a test run.
We're giving it a go. We have some incredible guests on this podcast, and
you're downgrading.
We're not downgrading. I was going to say something nice. I'm now not going to. We have one of the best people on this planet here.
Oh, that's so sweet.
We're going to get emotional. She's my best friend, and she's called Tamsin. And she has kindly offered or accepted to come on the podcast because I do think she is the best person to tease out of me certain information about my journey, about Avra, and about, I guess, being women approaching 30 or in your 30s. We're a similar age. Hi.
We won't mention my age.
Hiya.
Hiya.
This
Hi,
is
everyone.
weird. So I'm going to hand over to Tamsin. I'm not going to be in control of this podcast. She is, so I'm going to shut up.
Okay, Georgie. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got into wellness? How did it all start?
So I think I've touched on my story twice on this podcast, so I won't spend too long going through it again. You're probably like, oh God, this again. I have a really not interesting, that's the wrong word, really difficult story into wellness. When I was 4, I had emergency heart surgery. They told me I could never exercise. I'm skipping through it because you all know it by now. And I got to sixth form after suffering with my mental health very, very badly because, as you know, my family are incredibly sporty. And I was always left on the sidelines. It's not a sob story, it ends well. And I got to sixth form and I thought, I really need to move my body. I know that it will help me mentally. I could see what it was doing to my family, what it was doing to my peers. So signed up to dance A-level. Everyone, including the doctors, were like, what on earth are you doing? You're going to die. Literally, you're going to die.
That's hard.
It's hard. It changed my life. As you know, I'm sat here today because I just chose to take a leap. I risked my health for it. And there's a lot of information in between and a lot of ups and downs in between. But I think if someone tells you can't do something, then you have more power to do it.
Definitely. Were you ever scared, though?
Yeah, a lot.
Because it's your health.
You're going to make me cry. I told you she's the best person to tease out information. I was really scared.
Yeah.
My parents were absolutely terrified. The doctors were terrified. If I was to push my heart too much, it could end very, very badly. What I managed to do is to grow my heart as a muscle. Obviously, exercise, your heart is a muscle. Exercise grows muscles if you do it in the right way. And get myself into a really strong, fit and healthy place. There's been some kickbacks and one quite recently, but it's a good place, and it means that I understand. This is why Avra was created. I really understand people coming from the bottom, really from zero. So Dave and I talk all the time about the top 5%. We're in it. We love exercise. We love healthy food. Me and you cook all the time. We're out walking all the time. We go to classes all the time.
Yeah.
We're in the top Class Plus. Shout out, sponsor the podcast. But I know what it's like. I haven't just been an active, healthy, well person my whole life. I know what it's like to not be able to do what everyone else around you is doing.
That's why it's so important to you.
It's so important.
Yeah. So
it's really weird. She's so nervous. I can't take it.
I thought I was doing okay. So, G, what does wellness mean to you?
Do you know what? I asked this on every podcast, and I haven't thought about my answer. But let's see what comes out of my mouth. Wellness, to me, is a state of giving your body and mind the best chance at being well and energized and happy. Happiness is wellness to me.
Yeah.
If you're not happy, you're not well.
Yeah.
That's a bold statement. We all have things in our lives and people that cause us not good emotions. But I think happiness is never a destination either, by the way. I just really want to put that out there. I don't know what you think.
No, I agree with you.
It's not a destination you get to and then you're there. It's a constant. Life is shite at times.
It can be. Yeah, definitely.
It's not fair. It's cruel. Yeah. But I think if you're focusing on your own internal happiness, even if you're being thrown or dealt the worst cards in life, then that is wellness. And it's not about how you look, how strong you are, anything to do with that. Whether you have loads of friends or not, whatever. Whatever. Do you agree?
No, I totally agree with you, yeah. I think also for me, just like doing things or like being with people like you who just make me laugh as well, just being happy, yeah. So I agree. Okay. How did you get to be, from being a PT, I know you've probably mentioned this before, to being a business owner? Because obviously you've not had any like training in this.
None.
Just you're
flogging it.
Yeah.
How did I? So I was a PT for a long time. I absolutely loved it and I still love it. I train youth sometimes. I absolutely love helping people and finding I don't want to say weaknesses, but stuff that they want to improve on. I look at the body in such an intricate and weird way that I really enjoy. I'm a nerd.
Yeah, you are.
However, being a PT is, one, very exhausting. It is draining of your own energy. We just mentioned this in a podcast with Lawrence. If you haven't listened to that, go and listen. You're performing to your clients.
I feel like that a lot with photography as well. Like
you must get that. Yeah,
you have to kind of create the energy for the.
When you do a shoot.
Yeah.
That drain, especially if someone's difficult.
I have what I call shoot hangovers. So if it's like a full day shoot, the next day I'm just dead.
Yeah. And you love your job. I loved being a PT.
I love being with people, working with people and other creatives.
I think it affects your own capacity to look after yourself. Yeah. For me, it's more important. Like, it's even more important that I'm looking after myself, given my dodgy ticker.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you find that funny. So I loved being a PT. I also wanted to try and remove the privilege from wellness.
Yeah,
I talk to you about this all the time.
Amazing, yeah. That is so good.
The patients in the ward that I was in growing up, they don't have access to anything. They don't have the money. They don't know what they're doing. Wellness has become so overprivileged. It's a joke. Yeah. It's for that top 5%. And it's also so overcomplicated. Like, if you're a beginner, a novice, where do you start? Who do you reach out to? Which Instagram account do you follow? So I really wanted to create a holistic platform from being a PT that is accessible to the masses and the people that the person that I was at age 4 to 16 who didn't have access or the knowledge or was actually terrified to even start.
I mean, when it comes to like strength training, I have no idea what I'm doing. That's why I go to you.
But you're super fit and you have a drive to want to be well.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have that.
Yeah, no, that's very, very true.
So then that's when I started the business. And here we are.
So now you've got how many employees?
Oh, God. I've got a team of 7 and then about 29 experts.
That's wild. That is
and
insane. You. And me. Head of me. Head of content. Reverse cut. And me. Head of visuals. Whoops.
Oh, that's definitely getting the bleep for real.
Okay, where were we again? So yeah, that's a lot of people to be responsible for.
Yeah. I get, you can see I just got anxious about it. I get really, bringing in people has been one of the best decisions I've ever made business-wise, because I couldn't do it alone. Relying on people, I call Dave, every 10 minutes. Relying on people takes time and takes trust, but then when you're there, it's so good to have people to bounce. You work on your own. I worked on my own for years. It's great. It has its benefits because you're your own. You only answer to yourself. I'll touch on the negatives in a minute, but having people that you can bounce stuff off of is game changing. However, that comes with, if something doesn't go right in the business, I'm constantly in fear, and I feel for every single one of those people, and it's my fault. So if anything could go wrong, or startups are up and down. They're so down, they're so up, they're so down, they're so up. When we're in that down place, I am completely responsible for the other people's jobs.
Yeah, so that must affect your wellness then.
Definitely.
Yeah.
My mental health has definitely, I'll be really real and honest. My mental health has definitely taken a hit from running a business. I'm not saying that it's in a really bad place, but it is, as in my stress levels. I wouldn't change it for the world at the moment, but it is, you're with me every day.
Yeah.
How much
we spend
every day
together.
As a, you've seen me through all the stages, and although I feel I am put on this earth to do what I'm doing right now, I really feel like that, and how much fun I'm having.
Yeah, you love it.
You've seen the level of stress.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
Because you're worth it. What's that? Who's that from? L'Oreal. Because you're worth it. No. Maybelline. Oh, I don't know.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
We're going to get copyright. But you also run your own business.
Yeah. Are you flipping it around on me?
Yes. I can't. You also run your own business.
Yeah.
Do you find that stressful?
A lot of stress, yeah.
You have to create things for yourself. If you're in a big company, you're given your job. I'm not downplaying anyone who works for a larger corporate firm. You're given your work. You do your work well or not, and then you go home.
Yeah, and it's very you're safe in that environment.
You're in a blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that all your questions?
No. I'll come up with some more.
That's fine. Just talk to me.
So how are you kind of managing? You've never had this experience before, owning a business and running a business. How are you learning to do all these things? You've got so many hats that you're wearing at once.
I honestly learn on the job.
Yeah.
I don't like saying that, but it's God's honest truth. I learn every single day, having started Avra Limited, the company 2.5 years ago. I've learned something new every single day. I don't know what I'm doing. I do now.
You do, yeah.
I didn't at the start. And I've also been so lucky, you've met all of the people that I'm about to mention, to have people like Dave, Hugh, my dad, Neil, Jack, all the experts. I learn from every single one of them.
Everyone is wonderful.
I learn from you.
Well, they're like a family, I would say.
I learn from you a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
No, I do. You're very, I know you're hyper.
Yeah.
But the way that you live your life is quite slow paced. I need to do more of that. Or constantly when we're walking together.
And I'm dragging my bags around going, and you're going, why are you walking so
I'm
slow?
like, hurry up. I wish someone could film us. So guys, just imagine, just picture us. We're the same height.
With our matching
big coats. And I am striding because I just like to get to A to B. T just takes her time. And I think that's wonderful. No, I do. I think I need to slow down. You might need to speed up a bit.
I would say that I'm quite calm as a person.
You're really calm.
Yeah.
That's what I learned from you.
Yeah, that's sweet.
You're also my therapist.
Your actual therapist will be
No.
watching this going, hold on.
No, you're actually my therapist.
Aw.
So I learn, you tell me a lot of things.
Like your mum.
Let's talk about being women.
Yeah. I was going to ask you another question.
Go on, sorry, I've interrupted again.
So I was going to say, how do you deal when you're really in these stress modes? How do you cope with it? You use the Ava app.
I use the Ava app.
And what in particular do you use?
So, put my hands up,
Yeah.
because otherwise you're going to see right through my lying teeth.
Yeah.
I am still learning
Yeah.
how to de-stress. There's constantly something going on. My ways of coping are to do meditation, but I have got to be in the mood for it. It's not my go-to tool. Movement is my go-to tool.
I would say movement is your go-to.
And when we work out together, so I'm constantly wanting to work out with you, I'm not thinking about anything but our workout. When I work out on my own, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. And then actually just being around people, being around you, being around my other friends can really help de-stress me. I'm trying this new thing where when I watch a film, to not do any work. I used to work whilst watching a film.
I'm very guilty of doing that.
I literally spoke to a friend about it this morning. The art of doing nothing is so skillful. You're so skillful if you can do that. And I'm really trying to do that. I think because I live my life at 100 miles per hour in the week, I had this thing, thing that I had to do something on the weekend. I had to constantly be busy.
Yeah.
And over the last month, I would say I'm slowly learning to do nothing.
And just sit with yourself.
And just call you.
No, but being okay just to be with yourself.
You're a pro. I keep telling you
I'm probably too much the other way.
No, but you're an absolute pro at it.
Yeah.
You're so happy in your own company, on your own, with quietness. I think everyone should have comfort even being like that occasionally. It doesn't have to be all the time. How did you do that?
I don't know, to be honest. I think a lot of people, when they're on their own, they have like these like intrusive thoughts that they're kind of like, I don't want to deal with that right now. But I think it's good just to kind of know that they're your thoughts and not necessarily like you.
They're not you.
Yeah.
That's wise. That's why you're my friend. The Art of Being Alone. We should write a book.
Yeah.
30, Flirty and Thriving.
We have all these ideas.
The Art of Being Alone. Oh, let's float the G&T idea on this podcast.
Okay.
So we're obviously into wellness and fitness.
Yeah.
T's very aesthetic. She's very creative. She's got a great eye for detail.
Anything visual.
Yeah. Don't know what I could do. Sell it. Sales. An activewear brand called G&T.
Yeah.
That was made for females who want practical but pretty clothing.
I love it. So just vote below.
Vote below. No, but I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, hit me.
Being a female, you're a female founder too. Being a female, running your own thing at quite a young age, what are the negatives for you? What do you miss?
Other people. I know when I'm shooting, I love it because it's very much, I'm with people, I'm surrounded, it's high energy, I'm excited. But then actually what people don't realise is that most of the time I'm editing, I'm doing admin, I'm doing all like the business side of things. It's not, everyone's like, oh, have you got a shoot today? And it's like, I don't shoot every day. So
I got a real snapshot of that when we went to Cornwall.
Yeah.
And T spent the entire week editing one wedding.
Yeah, I mean, weddings are just a lot.
And I knew it was, don't get me wrong, I couldn't do your job. It's so hard. but the amount of time you spent on one wedding.
There's thousands
blew
of images to
my
go
mind.
through.
Editing,
Yeah.
resizing, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Plowing through images.
Yeah. And just making sure that
Patience.
it's telling a storyline as well of the day. Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard. What are the other negatives?
What are the other negatives? I hate doing all the admin stuff. Like, I want my job to be just pure creativity. And there is just so much admin. And, like, yeah, I think... I just don't like doing that kind of thing. I don't like doing my finances or that kind of thing. I'm like, I'll leave that till later, and then it'll be later, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is a lot.
This is why you get employees. No, I get you.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to acknowledge that you don't have to be, I've learned this, you don't have to wear every hat. You don't have to be good at everything.
Yeah.
You're good at a lot of things, but not everything. I'm good at one thing.
No, you're not. You've got so many
No,
things.
you're joking, but you don't have to wear every hat, because actually wearing every hat leads to less productivity.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%, yeah.
That I think that applies to people in corporate roles. So in a bigger business, you don't have to wear every hat. You don't have to be friends with everyone. You can have your boundaries at the workplace. I think it's really important to just stay in your lane.
Yeah.
As harsh as that sounds.
Yeah. I think for me, that's the plan, is to have people.
Stay in your lane.
Just stay in my lane.
I'll work for you.
We already work for each other.
Yeah.
Just don't get paid for it.
Just don't get paid. Okay, so should we do final questions of the week? What's the best thing that's happened to you this week?
What is the best
The worst thing, and what have you learnt from it?
What's the worst thing that's happened this week? But to be honest, I don't think I've had any really that bad things that have happened this week. You're going to be like...
You had nail varnish on your tooth.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah, I had nail varnish stuck on my tooth because I've got Invisalign at the moment. And everyone was going around telling me that I had lipstick on my tooth. So, yeah, that was quite bad. Good things that happened. Finished in my Christmas shopping.
No, that's a really good thing. You're more organised than me. What did you learn from those two things?
Number one, don't be so vain.
Great tip, guys. Heard it here first.
And number two, it's good to be organised.
It's so good to be organised. Okay, good. Love that. Okay, mine. Best thing to happen to me this week is launching a new client at Avra.
Amazing.
A new industry for us, actually a defence company, which is completely new for Avra. Really exciting. Going into the new year with some new companies, which is really good. The worst thing to happen to me this week. Where do I begin?
We know each other too well.
Yeah.
This game.
I can't say that on the podcast, so I cannot say my worst thing on the podcast. Yeah, that was hard.
Second worst thing.
The second worst thing is that my washing machine has come out of its cabinet.
That's pretty annoying.
So it's so forceful that it just fell out of the cabinet, and I've just had my kitchen redone. So yeah, that was kind of annoying. What did I learn from it? Not to get upset about little things. I've gotten really good at traffic. Traffic used to drive me insane.
What's that book called?
The subtle art of not giving a fuck.
There we go.
Telepathic. So that was what I learned. I think everyone continually tries to work on not letting the small things in life take over your mind, and it happens to all of us. Like, you know, small things in my mind get blown out, and they are 10-year problems by the end of the day. But yeah. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Oh, you're so welcome. On the other side of the camera for the first time.
I know. T's always behind the camera. I will link her Instagrams. She's got a photography one and a wedding one. So if you are getting married, hit her up. And yeah, if you see something that you like visually on Avra, then that was all her amazing work. So very grateful for you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your Wednesday and rest of your week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.